another thing to be aware of when it comes to the change itself, because you know, you might handle transition differently than the way your spouse does. Or y'all might be in a situation where one of you is very aware of a transition you're going through, and your spouse is not even aware, not even cognizant of the fact that you're going through a transition. So, like, one example is, we kind of talked about it, is maybe you have a shift in your hours at work or something.
Yeah.
And you're shifting from a day shift to a night shift. And your spouse ain't really, like, they're aware of it, but they're not aware of how it's affecting you. And so you're going through this whole transition, or, okay, let me talk to the ladies, perimenopause or menopause, something like that. You know, you are going through some significant transitions and changes, and your spouse knows of it, but they're not fully aware of all of the transitions and changes that's going on.
We see something happening.
Yeah, so it's just
something going on over here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another one of them cases where you got to talk through the transition, so the transition don't take y'all out.
Right.
So talk through it. Let your spouse know, hey, this is what's going on with me. You know, all of that. So what you smiling about?
Because I want to run through that. You know, I want to run through the C's just on that one alone. So say you going through it, right? And then it's like you have to communicate it. I'm like, okay, this is around the time that people are going. The average. My wife is not average, so I never know. And so I'm like, okay, but she's prepping and doing some things like that. I'm like, okay. So now there's a choice.
So
Go ahead.
I would say the change is first, being aware of, hey, there's a change on the horizon coming. Right. So we're both aware of that. Yeah. So you've been raised
the C's
by
don't
women,
have to be,
you got sisters, you know, all of
it.
that. So yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm aware of it, but now I have a choice to either ask or say something that's a little different, or I choose not to say anything and just like, all right, she can handle it. And it's like it doesn't involve me, and it does. Yeah. You know, there's some changes and transitions happening, like when I transition through some of my health issues. You know what I mean? It's like, and you've experienced. I had the choice of telling you or trying to hide it. Hey, I'm having this little thing and all this other stuff, and it gets worse, or it takes me longer to get through the transition. You know, but if I tell you, look, I'm having this problem. I have an eating disorder, right? I can't seem to push my plate away when I'm stressed out and stuff like that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, my wife helps me in all these choices I have. I can have a big plate with a whole bunch of stuff on it, or I can have a small plate and put a different side, and it still looks full. So that was a choice.